What's going on, my friends? It's your boy, Dave Sharpe, the captain of this ship this morning, and we are going to be sailing into the seas of a really hot platform that we're talking about a lot right now. And we are going to hear from a returning guest, okay? And she is going to share she's going to spill all the beans. Now, by the way, every single day, just in case you're new here, you don't know why I'm going live. Why is Dave? This is live. This is 1000% live. You can see right there, Friday, July 22nd, okay, at 10:05. And we do this every single morning, Monday through Friday, with a new client or student here at Legendary to showcase what they've been able to do themselves. And of course, they've gone through our education and they're a part of our community. And we're absolutely thrilled to have each one of you here. So with that being said, let's jump into this. Collette, welcome to the show.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome,
How are
welcome,
you?
welcome. I'm great. I'm fantastic. I'm excited to hear your story and hear what you've been up to lately, of course, because you're realizing that you were on the show. When was the last time that you were on the show?
July or August?
Okay,
This
so a
August.
year ago.
Yeah, actually, yeah. So I think it was, I have to go back and look but yeah, it was July or August of last year.
All right, so July or August of last year.
Yes.
And look at that. Here's the first big thing that I just want to point out. Wow, there's people who are actually coming in and sticking with this and making a true living with this. It's not, people are actually planting their flags in this business model and in these strategies versus what so many of us had to do before, which was jump from kind of thing to thing and side hustle to biz up to MLM to hot dog stand or everything in between. I don't know that that's your story, but would you let us know what happened before what happened even before a year ago?
Absolutely. Well, for one, I'm super grateful that I came across this. But so my story is, I've always been an entrepreneur at heart. I've always wanted to make money online. My husband and I did network marketing years ago, but that was years ago. And we have three kids. Our kids are all going to be in high school this year, and we've talked about this for years. And I can't believe that we're here. That's how fast time flies. But when I was pregnant with my last child, when my kids were little, we decided that we were going to sacrifice and bring me home and raise our children. And no matter how prepared you are, going from two income to one income is hard. And so
Yeah.
we had a lot of hard years, but it was the best decision that we made. And then, fast forward to when I got onto TikTok, and I was just scrolling to entertain myself, see what my, kids were watching, all that. I kept seeing affiliate marketing. And I was very skeptical because I was raised that if it sounds like it's too good to be true, it probably is. Well, guess what? The internet wasn't around. I'm gonna age myself, but the internet was not around when I was raised that way. And the
Mm,
internet has changed everything for so many people. And I'm
yes.
so blessed and so grateful that I didn't keep scrolling, but I watched for months before I decided that I was going to learn more. And as I learned more, I realized that it was around when I was raising my children and we were struggling. And I even signed up for emails from affiliate marketers back then, and purchased products. And I was contributing to their family, which is wonderful. But I so wish that one of those individuals would have sent me an email saying, "Hey, Collette, are you at home raising your children? Are you struggling? Would you like to have, would you like to bring in extra income into your home? Would that help you?" I would have been
Mhm.
like, heck yeah, where do I sign? Like, give me the information. I'm going to do my due diligence. And if it fits me, I'm going to do it. But no one
Yeah.
ever did. So that's why I'm so passionate about this, because this has changed my family's life. This has been exactly what
Oh,
I've been searching for all these years. And,
mm,
like every single checkbox is what I was hoping for. And I didn't know it existed. So to me, I feel like I am doing a disservice if I don't share this with people. Of
Mm.
course, I want them to do their due diligence, and I'm going to give them the information. But it's just like this is such an amazing opportunity, and it's changing so many people's lives and helping so many people. Because I was raised that I'm a super hard worker. I will work circles around anyone. But me working hard at my job with a salary based job is never going to get me where I wanted to be.
Yeah.
So this has just been such an amazing opportunity. So yeah, so I came on TikTok, and I did my research, and I was like, yes, this is what I wanted to do. And it's been a journey, and I'm so grateful, and I'm so thankful for you and Matt and everybody on Legendary Marketer, because it is such an amazing community of people, and everybody that's in the community wants you to succeed. And there's so much information. I still have not gone through all the information. That's how much information is there. So yeah, thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Oh gosh, there's so much to learn, and we're always
Sure.
learning, aren't we? And
Yeah.
yeah, so many of our even our most successful students have yet to tap into a portion of what's available just in in our platform, in our ecosystem, in our community. And that's just simply because at this point we've had contribution from so many fantastic people that
Yeah.
there's a lot of amazing stuff. But the beautiful thing is, and I want to say this loud and clear, is you don't need to know even a portion of it, even a freckle on the pimple of a gnat's ass of it, to get started, to
Yeah.
get started. And
Yes.
so, tell us your story here and what's happened since you got started. You went through, you saw it, you did whatever due diligence to make yourself feel comfortable. And usually, my due diligence a lot of times is, well, here we go. So,
Right.
it's a gut feeling. A lot of times I go with a gut feeling, and I'm willing to take a risk on people. I don't look at money as the most important thing in the world. Uh, some people might say, well, that's easy for you, Dave. You have a lot of money. Yeah, I- I've always been willing to spend my last 20 bucks on something, a meal, whatever, going out, having fun, some sort of an experience. And I mean, even back when I was younger, just because I really do know that money can be made. Money's not something that lacks. There's money that's laying all over the ground everywhere. There's money that's crumpled up in people's couches. It's being printed every day,
Mhm.
and it's available, and it's an abundant thing. Everything on this earth is an asset or a resource, that you can turn into something depending on your resourcefulness. But so what's happened over the last year? I mean, you got started and started actually, doing the because you said you're a hard worker, and that's
Mhm.
fantastic. I think that's maybe the only quality that you need to actually get started and have some initial success. So what does that look like over the last year for you?
Well, you really learn about yourself as an entrepreneur.
Mm,
And there was times. So as an entrepreneur, you go down different avenues, and I've gone down the valley of despair. You think that what you're doing is not getting you anywhere. But what I've learned along the way is it is. Don't give up. And that's one
yeah.
thing I'm so grateful that I have not done is I've never given up. I may have backed off a little bit. And my husband is the biggest cheerleader I have. Like he has believed in me from day one. Um, and my
Mm,
children, oh my gosh, like I have the best support. But anyways, so they've
cool.
always rooted for me. They've always been, you got this, mom, you got this. Um, I told her I wasn't going to cry on on live, but I get emotional because I'm so
Let it
passionate.
go. It's fine. Yeah. Oh, wow. I love emotion, and what a treasure for you to share that with us, to be so vulnerable and share what's really important to you.
Oh, thank you. That means a lot. But yeah, so to me, I had my TikTok account. My TikTok account had 112,000 subscribers. I lost it. Okay. So one thing that I realized along my journey is you cannot get um like what is the word that I'm looking for? You can't get like that was my one main method. I was on TikTok and that's all I was doing. And I didn't think about having multiple accounts, none of that. So when that happened, I was like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do?
Like diversity, maybe like you had no diversity.
I mean, I had done a little bit of Instagram, but never, didn't really full force on it. So TikTok was my main one.
Sort of like an investment strategy. I
Yeah,
mean, the one most common piece of advice is diversify. And so if
totally.
you lose one thing or one thing goes down, stock market goes down, well, maybe you have
Mhm.
real estate. I've actually experienced that here over the last 6 months to where stocks that I've owned have gone down, but real estate has sort of stayed up. And so that diversification has balanced things out. And so is that what you mean in terms of your traffic sources as well? Just for those who, are just maybe on here for the first time, we want you to understand that you don't have, there's what Collette is saying, there's not only one well, but
Yes.
continue.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Yeah. So that happened, and I could have thrown in the towel and been like, okay, well, you know what? It's not going to happen. I don't want to, go through and rebuild. But I was like, nope. I'm going to survive. This is my story. Like I'm just building my story, right? I'm
Mm.
showing that you can, have things taken away, but you can rebuild. And so I did, and I uh, created multiple sources of methods to put myself out there, and then I went on to Facebook, and Facebook has been amazing. And that was my last one. My last one was Facebook, and it has been phenomenal.
Yeah.
And I really feel like
I just
connecting
think
with
this
your
is hilarious. I mean, because every, but it's just call it. Let's just pause for 1 second and just
okay,
actually reflect on the last 18 months, because everybody's like, TikTok. It's, oh my gosh, it's been awesome. It's
right,
incredible, right? And then like TikTok starts acting up because it's great there,
mhm,
and they don't start acting up. We're acting up, so they bring in the consequences. Is really what's happening. They're
very,
starting to slap hands and
yeah,
put people in detention and say,
yeah,
"Hey, that's too spammy." And then
yeah,
we come in here and we're like, I got my account shut down when we were just spamming the hell, just trying to just do nothing but just extract cash off of the platform, And Gary Vaynerchuk said it best when he said that marketers ruin everything, and marketers will go on. This has been happening for a long time, but just the last 18 months. So everybody, not just us, every industry's piling onto TikTok because they've discovered a way with what their new way of delivering video to allow creators to get their content in front of big massive audiences instead of only the audience that of friends that
yeah,
which nobody wants to actually do. Like
yeah,
most people are like, okay, I'm tired of only
right,
seeing these people's crap, and so back to what happened. TikTok started, people lost a couple accounts. So there was a period there, wasn't there, where
mhm,
everybody was like, is it over?
yeah,
As if it's a gimmick, like, oh, is the
right,
cash grab over? When when now Facebook this is capitalism. This is why capitalism is important, is because it creates competition, and competition is good for the consumer. Does this make
mhm,
sense? And
yeah,
so these platforms right now are competing in a healthy way, okay? And this is also globalization because TikTok is a Chinese company. I want to be
mhm.
very clear for all of you who hate China, right? I mean, it's amazing. We hate China until it's like, well, shit, don't take that away. Just don't take that away. You know, but anyways, I'm not a fan of communism. Um, capitalism, we're competing. The companies are competing now for our attention, and
Mhm,
and what we realize what we're realizing, I hope, is that we have more power than we thought that we did.
Yeah.
You as a one-man band, the playing field is somewhat leveled because the internet has kind of leveled it for everybody. And so now Facebook's competing in rolling out similar products, and they're just going to keep getting better and better and better. For who? For us.
Yeah.
Because if they're better for us, we'll spend more time on the platform. It really is a win-win, right? And
Yep.
so I just wanted to point that out for all of us to remember the next time that something starts to get, maybe you could call it saturated. I mean, I don't know. I hesitate to use that word because it's not an abundant way of thinking. It's almost like a lack way of thinking, like, oh, there's no more opportunity, when people are absolutely still crushing it on TikTok. And you'd be silly not to, if you're right, to still be active there. But 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 I just wanted to pause and so next time that happens and we all start freaking out, like, oh my God, to remember that these principles will outlast trends.
Yeah.
True principles outlast trends. And that's what we're about here at Legendary Marketer, is giving you those principles and those strategies versus just some quick little gimmicky way to extract money that's probably going to go away.
Yeah. Well, and I also, like, you and Matt say this all the time, is to don't just be on one platform, be on multiple platforms. Obviously when you're at the very beginning, you got to make sure that you understand how it works. Don't jump to too many, because then you're going to give up because you're going to be too overwhelmed. But once you understand, and you got to kind of a feel for it, when you're on multiple platforms and doing it, strategically, then if one goes on fire, you're already there. You're not trying to backpedal, trying to get on it and, think that you're missing out. So that's one thing that, I didn't do at the very beginning, and I, had my hands slapped, and it's okay. Like, it's all my story. Right. And I just,
I love that
but
you make it part of your story, and that you're building your story right now, and that all these little things are experiences that you can share that make you more valuable.
exactly. And I want to share all the mistakes I've made, so people don't have to make the same mistakes that I made. Right. I want you to succeed, and I want you to succeed faster than me. So I'm going to share my golden nuggets. I'm going to give you, everything that I can, that's going to help you, because I don't want anybody to struggle, because we have an amazing opportunity now, especially with the internet. And when you find what you've been searching for, it's like the sky's the limit. And one thing I wanted to say too, like how you talked about being saturated. I always give the scenario that it's not going to be saturated. It's like we have multiple grocery stores that's down the road from us, right? And those grocery stores, they're not going to go out of business because one's down the road from it. People buy at certain places, so nothing's ever going to be saturated, because there's so many people out here that that are looking, that are shopping at certain places, things like that. So
yeah, I mean, it's an abundant world, and that's what I think, I really, really am into this, and I want to share this. It's called the liking gap, and it's just such a fascinating thing because so many of us really underestimate how much we are liked and how great we are, and how just I really realize that. And I'm having this kind of realization and revelation through some of the deep work that I'm doing outside of business, that of course helps my business, by the way, but therapy and going back in and really just taking everything that happens. I love corrective experience, and that just means that, for example, if I feel like I didn't get something as a child, well, I have an opportunity to nurture my child in that way, and in a certain way, I have that corrective experience. Corrective experience is just one of the ways that I see, ways that I can grow in my personal life. But this journey and this what we're doing here is really, really something that is just a wildly profitable and wildly simple for somebody to get started with. And I'm just blown away by this opportunity that we have here to do this. Where are you mentally right now, looking back over the last year and a half? Where are you mentally, in terms of your happiness levels, and emotionally, in terms of your stress levels, in terms of your hopefulness for the future?
I love that. So totally different. And I've always been a positive person. I've always been a half glass full person. That's always been something that I look for the best in people. At times that can negatively hurt me, but at the end of the day, there's always good in people, right? And I'm going to find it. Whatever it is, I'm going to find it. And this, you have to, especially being an entrepreneur, your mental capacity and your mindset is so important. You have to feed that. You have to continually, just be around like-minded people, be around a community that is building you up. I tell my children all the time, you become who you hang out with, right? So if you're around people that are like, doom and gloom, because you can look at so much negativity, right? And you can become so destroyed by it very quickly.
Yeah.
But you have to step back and be like, you know what? I'm not going to let the outer world control my inner world. I'm going to make the best of whatever it is. I'm going to, I want my kids and my husband and anyone that, I hang out with, I want them when they leave me and go wherever they're going to be like, man, I feel so much better that I hung out with Collette. She made me, feel like I can do anything. She made me feel like I'm special, because so many people don't have that in the world.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, so I'm kind of going all over the place here, but
Well, how do
to me,
you? Well, I mean, ultimately, yeah, it sounds like my question was, what is your happiness and stress levels now compared to a year and a half ago? And do you feel more hopeful for the future? So that's what
absolutely.
your answer is perfect and wonderful. And there's no right answer. I mean, that was my question. And I mean, if you want to elaborate more, I have 1,000 more questions for you, but that was a
No, I
enclave.
absolutely, like, you're so kind. No, like, so from the very beginning, so when I first started, I was hopeful. I was like, and I was also skeptical, right? So I was like, is this going to work?
Yeah.
Um, and I truly didn't.
Sounds like a normal human being, by the way. If any of you are skeptical, if any of you are feeling like, oh, I don't know if this is going to work and all that, those are all really, really normal feelings. And I'm, it's just about, do we dwell there, right? But you continue on with what happened with you.
And so this has, like when you start on your journey and you make your first commission, that right there is the greatest feeling. You will never ever forget that feeling. That's what I tell everybody. I'm like, it doesn't
Yeah,
matter if it takes 6 months for your first commission. It doesn't matter if it takes 24 hours. When you make that first commission, you're like, wow, I can do this. Like this is legit. This is amazing. And you just keep moving forward. I always say fall forward, right? You always just
yeah,
fall forward no matter what you're doing, just fall forward. And so that happened. And then, I have a salary based job, so I'm not going to make extra money by working harder, right? And so when I started to learn to make money online, I became so much more hopeful, so much more. My future was brighter because I wasn't like, okay, well, what happens if something happens to my job? What happens if I, whatever, you think of a million different what ifs, right? Now I don't
right.
have to think about that anymore because I'm building a business online that I can do anywhere. Like that's what makes it. I'm such a better person, a better mom, a better wife, a better friend, a better employee, everything because I have
Wow.
belief and I have a solution for people. So now, like I said before, I've always been a glass half full. I've always been a very optimistic person, but now even more so I am because I want to share this with everybody that is looking, that's suffering, that's that thinks that the only way that they can make money is by trading their time for money out there in the world. Because that's what I thought. I mean, I've done a lot of different things to try to trade time for money, but
Yeah.
nothing compares to this. I can do this with my children at home, with my husband at home. We can be on vacation and I can do this. So yeah, I'm a completely different person, even though I don't think that, like I was a very, happy, optimistic
Yeah.
person back then. I'm even way more now.
Well, it's really stood out to me when you said, I'm a better wife. This allows me to be a better wife, a better mom. I just wonder how many people who heard that and their ears perked up because, geez, doesn't it, you know, my wife said this to me one time. She said, I don't feel very cared for. And see, we've learned to communicate our needs and what we either want or we've learned to. Not always have we done that. And some people might be like, wow, she said she would say that. And it's like, well, absolutely. And isn't that amazing that she would? Because so many people stay so silent and never speak up for what they want or need. And that gave me a clear blueprint for how to make her feel more cared for. And so I started doing other little things, and whether it was dishes, laundry, whatever needed to be done to help her out, to make her feel, because she's a service-based love person. She feels
That's
love when people do things, service-based things, like boring stuff. To me, I don't feel love if you do that for me. I'm like, whatever. That's, like I'm more of a kind of a physical touch or a affirmation.
yeah,
Um,
too.
and so, when you said be a better wife, be a better mom, for me, I wonder how many people out there really, after you've made your boss happy all day and you've dealt with all the drama from your coworkers and all your friends who you put your emotional treasure in their empty wells all the time, and all your family that you're constantly taking care of their feelings and taking care of them, and you got your kids or whatever, your dog or your home, or just your personal self-care responsibilities. And where is that time and that energy in my body for the people who are most important? And I had to write them on the back of a pendant so I would never forget. Their names are right here. There's 4 names. It's my wife and my
Um,
kids.
I love
Because if I ever forget about who are the most important people in my life, I can just look behind that pendant and I can just see that there are 4 names. Now, my name is not on there. It's very important, right? Because these are the people that, if I want to have my energy for them. And so I wonder if that feels like it fits for you, because for me, that's been my journey. I've slowly cut out all the different people who I've realized, I didn't know this, but I realized they actually didn't deserve my emotional treasure. I didn't know that before, but I was pouring my passion and my emotional treasure into all these places that either gave no ROI or it was just an empty well. That's what came up for me when you said that.
yeah.
Be a better dad, be a better wife. Wow. Thank you.
Oh, well, and see, I'm such a people pleaser. That's how I've always been. I've been such a people pleaser. And I've realized that you have to, you know, with this whole, journey that I've been on, um, so when I first started, I was so scared of friends and family finding out that I was doing this. I was so nervous.
Wow,
And
I think that's so common.
yeah, and there's so many people I talk to all along the way that has the same
Yeah.
feelings.
No, I
Um,
have the same thing. I deal with it too. I get it. It's like I don't
yeah,
want them to know. I want them out of my business. Don't ask
yeah,
me about it.
yeah. Well, and luckily I have very supportive friends and family, but I was so nervous of it, and
We're
I
afraid of the
realized,
rejection, right? We want
yeah,
their validation, and we're afraid that they're not going to give us I had my therapist actually was telling me about just an example, not the person, of course, breaking their confidentiality, but how one of his clients was world class, but was so depressed and frustrated because his family would never acknowledge his talent and his success. And he was world class at what he did. And if somebody who's world class can't get the validation, acknowledgement from their family, it makes a lot of sense why some of us don't, because friends and family just, it's a weird phenomenon that's hard to explain. But I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and I came across, a piece of information, and it said, at the end of the day, your friends and family are not the ones that are paying the bills. So, you've got to figure out what makes you happy. And that's what I figured out along the way is I love to help people. Okay. So I love to and with what I found and what I've, discovered with affiliate marketing, it is, I truly believe that it attracts the best people because you are helping people. You know what I mean? You're finding products that you love and you're sharing it with others that have changed your life. I mean, that's it in a nutshell. And so this has been an answer to my prayers. And I realized that, you know what? The people that love me and the people that want to be around me are the people that are going to stick around. The people
Yeah.
that don't, it's okay. I'm going to find the people that I want to be around. I want to be around my children. I want to be around my husband. I want to be around people that build me up and believe in me. And I truly feel like you find these people. You find the people that
You do have
are
to find
like
them.
you. Yeah. And it's been such a blessing. So yeah.
A client will become a friend faster than a friend will become a client.
Ooh, I like that.
I know.
That's so true.
I know. I did too the first time I heard it. I was like, whew, that's a heater. That's a truth. That's a truth bomb. And it is. It's so, I mean, a lot of the reason why we have these conversations every morning is because when you start with something, you have all this weird stuff that pops up, these feelings, this uncomfortability, this awkwardness, whatever is going on. It's just weird and uncomfortable. And you got fears that are coming up. And here's where it gets bad. All that's normal. But here's the only thing that makes it toxic, that makes it poison, is that you think that you're the only one who's going through that. When in reality, every single person goes through it.
Yeah.
Everybody. And what we do, here's another one for everybody to really just write this down, take it in, come back, watch the replay. But we compare our insides to others' outsides, meaning you look happy. You don't look like you have any anxiety. You don't look like you're afraid of rejection. You don't feel like you have you don't look like you have low self-esteem. But those are all the things that I'm feeling as I'm pulling up this camera and getting ready to go live or getting ready to shoot this video. And I feel less than, and I don't feel like anybody's really going to like me. Nobody likes me. And I start piling on. That's the liking gap. That's why I brought up this liking gap, is because the phenomenon is that the majority of us, there's a phenomenon. It's called the liking gap, which is the disparity between how much a person believes that another person likes them and that other person's actual opinion. Studies have found that most people underestimate how much other people like them and enjoy their company. Wow.
Yeah.
Read this, study this, because the difference between people who are successful and unsuccessful are simply that the ones who are successful, let me illustrate with a story. So there were two people being interviewed. One lady said, when I get up to speak in front of people, my stomach starts to get butterflies, like I'm going to have to go and have an explosion somewhere or somehow. My chest gets tight. I start sweating, and this is how I know I'm going to have a breakdown. And then a rock star Same questions. What are your signs, symptoms, feelings before you go on stage and rock an auditorium of 80,000 people? Well, my stomach, it gets all like I'm gonna have an explosion of some sort. My chest gets tight and I get anxiety and I start sweating like a dog. And that's how I know I'm ready. Identical symptoms, just different perception of.
Yeah.
So we have to remember as new people or as people who are continuing on any difficult journey, and being in business is not an easy journey, it's a difficult journey.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so, it's important to remember that all people have to come through the front door on this road to success. There's no side doors, can't sneak in the window. It's not about who you know. You can't get a buddy pass.
Yeah.
And so that's why, you were talking about some of those things. And isn't it amazing how, as we're going through having some of those thoughts and feelings, we think we're the only ones having them,
Yeah. Well, yeah, and that's one thing that I love when I connect with people, because it's like they say, like, I'm terrified to get on camera. Oh my gosh. Like, I've always been the person behind the camera. Like, if you would have told me that I would be doing what I'm doing right now, I would have been like, oh my gosh, no way. But I've discovered a way to help people. And so it makes me swallow my fear. It makes me be like, I would be doing a disservice if I wouldn't get on camera and I wouldn't share this with people, because I don't want people to struggle when there's a solution. Do your due diligence, of course. But if it's the right fit for you, I feel like this has been such an answer to my prayers, and I want to help as many people as possible. So
Well, when
if
you
I
when you
can,
prayed, actually, God actually just sent me an email and said that.
well,
No, I'm just
thank you,
playing.
God.
Angel, brother
Brother
Dave.
Dave answered my prayer.
Let us bow our heads now.
Oh, I love it. But yeah, it's been amazing. I'm super grateful, and the community with Legendary Marketer is hands down the best. Everybody is so supportive. Um, yeah, it's been an amazing journey, and I'm so grateful.
Well, hey,
I'm
we're
so
grateful for you and grateful for your work and your story, and coming here and sharing with us. Uh, you know, just also beautiful truths about how this how really I love it when somebody takes their whatever they view their challenges or problems into their own hands and really does something about it. I mean, it's just I know what it looks like I know what inaction looks like. And I know what inaction looks like in terms of, you know, of parenting, in terms of marriage, in terms of employment,
Mhm.
that inaction, that just doing the bare minimum, or
Yeah,
not doing anything at all.
yeah,
And the most common thing for us humans to do is really just kind of complain and kind of then commiserate with somebody had commented earlier, crabs in a bucket, you know, and it's hard, because most of our friends and family and the neighborhoods that we come from don't the majority of people are not striving for more. They're doing the bare minimum to get by. It's usually extremes. It's not a whole lot of people. I mean, even people in the middle class, really, if we're honest, go to work, not, put in the hours that they have to put in, nothing
mhm,
more,
yeah,
and come home. Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I'm
mhm,
just saying that they don't want to move to a different neighborhood. They love their life. It's okay.
yeah,
But there's a percentage of people who, are I think entrepreneurship, and I don't know what that percentage is. I don't know if it's 20%, 1%. I don't know. But there's a percentage of people, and we see them here in our community, who want to strive for more, right? And
mhm,
then there's a lot of you here who are thinking about it and you're interested in it, but you're negotiating with yourself about
yeah,
how much do you really want to work? How much do you really want to try? Because if it's too much effort, if it's too hard, probably not going to do it, right? And that's what a lot of us do. That's why we jump from thing to thing. And I said this to my wife last night. We were talking, and I was talking about something else outside, and it just made me think. Some people work really hard for a long time trying to get rich quick.
That's true.
I mean, I'm talking about working hard. It is hard to start and stop business, start, stop, jump to something new, the emotional role. Oh, I've got a new guru who's going to be my, who's going to be my all-knowing mentor, who's going to, the guy who, of course, hit me up in the Facebook message is now going to be my savior, and that's an emotional roller coaster, man. And that's hard work. And we wonder why we're broke and exhausted after all of that. And I think what the hope that I get a lot of times watching the show and listening every morning is that small, consistent effort, consistent, doesn't have to be, you don't have to move mountains every day, but you just keep driving the ball down the field, even a yard at a time. And eventually you're going to make it to that end zone. And it might take you a time or two to try to get in that end zone. But eventually, if you just keep looking downfield and driving that way, and don't look to that sideline and go and sit on that bench or go get in those stands, but stay on that field and just, even if you got to lay down and take a nap, get up and then try to drive the ball another yard, or half a yard. Right. That's the hope that I get every morning, is that somebody can take small, consistent efforts that anybody can do, and over a period of time have a chance of having realistic or even, extraordinary success, and have their life totally changed in more ways, even than just financially. And I think your story was a perfect example of that.
Well, and I always tell people that this is a marathon, not a sprint. That this is long term. Like if you want something that's going to change your life, this is as long as you, like what you said, do something every single day that's moving you forward, you will eventually reach your goal. It may take you 2 months, 6 months, a year, but guess what? If you don't do anything moving you forward, you're going to be exactly where you're at, and a year is going to go by and you're going to be like, wow, nothing's changed. Well, nothing changed because you didn't take those steps every single day to help you.
Yeah. So Jeff says, did they already mention what is hot right now? We did, and I want to re-mention it for you. And I want to do something even above and beyond that. I want to tell you about something that we're doing that has spawned, that has been a launch pad for an amazing amount of success right here in this community. And it's where we've done these short challenges, not our 15-day challenge. It's a free challenge that we host usually right inside of our Facebook group. We'll email about it. We'll let everybody know that it's coming up, but I believe we're starting it on Monday. And on Monday, I believe it's going to be a 5-day challenge. And it's going to be based around the platform that is really kicking butt and taking names right now. Say what it is, Collette.
Facebook.
Wow, good old wow, we're back over on Facebook now. Oh my God. And that's for those of you who were on and heard me talking about the ups and downs and the different platforms competing for our attention. That's what's happening right now. This is capitalism. This is competition. Facebook Reels. Yes, Reels, Jeff. Reels. We're going to bring on Monday, and we are going to begin a free Reels challenge. Okay? A free Reels challenge. This is a Facebook Reels challenge. And what we're going to do is we're going to be bringing on a gentleman by the name of Josh Smith. Okay. And Josh, over the course of the last 28 days using Facebook Reels, has developed or generated over 300,000 followers on Facebook. and generated 7,400 leads in a day.
That's awesome.
7,400. I got to.
Wow. I know, right? That's incredible.
It's too much. It's
Oh,
the opportunity right now. It's too much. It's too big. It's insane. And here's what we're going to do starting Monday. Okay. Starting Monday is we are going to launch this Facebook Reels challenge. How much is it, Dave? How much is it? Well, Collette, what is your favorite 4-letter F word?
that would
That's
be
what we're going to charge. Free. Bingo. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. It's absolutely free. Okay. It's 1,000% free. And we are not only going to do this challenge, but we want you to do it with us. And from this challenge, I have absolutely no idea what's going to happen. I never know what's going to happen in the future, but I know what's happened in the past. And in the past, what's happened when we've run these little challenges inside of our community, we have had an explosion of success. Why? I don't know why. Who cares why? It's just magic. Why do we always have to know why? It's just
right.
been magic. And there's
Yeah.
been all kinds of people, from the Jonathan Montoyas to the Don Bavaros to the Matt Steinmans to the Josh Smiths to the all of these. I just saw Megan and Ryan. There's all of these people inside of our community, many of whom have participated in these 100% free challenges. And they've absolutely, if not completely, launched their business and their career during this time period. They have poured a whole lot of gasoline on what they were already doing. And so we are going to be doing this together as a community. So those of you who haven't posted your first video, those of you who have been negotiating with yourself about how much action or what you want to do, get ready to put all of that shit to bed, because on Monday morning, okay, and we're going to be sending out communication, we're going to be emailing, we're going to be posting in the group. So please pay attention. If I can, do we have anything, Matt? And you can just send it to me. Monday morning, okay, Monday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern time, we're actually going to officially launch the challenge. And then, of course, we'll talk about it on Wake Up Legendary at 10 a.m. as well. But here's mentally what I want everybody to think about. That on Monday, I'm going to take all my sorry ass excuses out behind the barn, and I'm going to shoot them right in the back of the head. And I know that sounds morbid, but I wanted to say something to get your attention. That's what we're going to do. We're not going to take you, your spirit, your passion. We're going to take all those devilish, sorry, just limiting beliefs and excuses that we all have, me included, and we are going to annihilate them. Okay. How are we going to do that? Because we are going to act ourselves into a new way of thinking. We are not going to sit around and think ourselves into a new way of acting or being. We're not going to go, there's no weeds in my yard. There's no weeds in my yard. No, we're going to get our asses out there. I'm going to get out there with you. We're going to put on our gloves, and we're going to get a little dirt under our fingernails. And we're going to do that together as a community. And if you participate, there's a great chance that something magical and wonderful and potentially even extremely profitable can happen inside of your life and your business. And so I invite each one of you to participate or sit on the sidelines, sit up in the stands, and cheer the rest of us on. Either way, we are absolutely enthralled, excited, and honored, however you want to participate. But we want to make this a challenge that is exciting, that drives results, and that delivers a lot of value. And Josh is going to, throughout the challenge with our help, deliver training and strategies and what he's doing and what he did and show you examples. So you'll want to make sure that you're super, super, super engaged starting on Monday at 9 a.m. Eastern time. And we're going to be sending emails. We're going to be posting in the Facebook group. And of course, we'll be talking about it on Monday on Wake Up Legendary. So Collette, I hope that you'll participate too. You've got all the details right here. What's your thoughts? Just first thought hearing about this and all the details starting Monday. What are you thinking and feeling?
Oh my gosh, this is so exciting. And I literally want to go outside and scream at the top of my lungs because, like, this is one of the many reasons why I love Legendary Marketer, because you guys seriously are always thinking of us. You're always thinking of what you can do to help people that are looking for solutions. And what a phenomenal, thing for all of us to learn from, and how amazing for Josh to share that with us.
Yeah.
Because I followed him and he's amazing. So
He's
yeah, I'm so
cool guy.
excited. Like, this is, listen to Dave, get on board and jump in,
There's
because
no benefit. There's no, it's free.
yeah,
I don't even think we're selling anything, although we should. We should. I don't think we're selling anything, but I'm really going to twist Matt's arm to try to come up with something to sell. But likely, just because I like to sell, but likely he's going to say, we ain't selling shit. We're just doing this to try to, help people. No, I'm just playing. I don't think we're selling anything. I'm actually just talking shit at this point. But it's incredible, and we've done several of these short little challenges. Not our 15-day online business builder challenge. It's going to be a free challenge that we'll do right in our Facebook group. And my friends, it's a huge opportunity to really get a lot of value for free right here. It's going to be legit. It's going to be good stuff, and we're excited to do it. So Collette, we'll see you on Monday, and
awesome.
thank you for your time today, and keep up the great work.
I appreciate it so much. Thank you. Bye,
See you
everyone.
later. Okay. Bye-bye.
Thanks.
All right. I don't know what her Facebook is, but you just go over and you find her on TikTok and you find her on Instagram, and I'm sure you'll get deeply involved in her world. Okay. And you'll be able to find her. Y'all get a little resourceful. Okay. Y'all get a little resourceful. Go out there and get your Dick Tracy on. Okay. Look, this challenge is going to be a really, really, really big deal and super helpful. It's no hype, no BS, no big launch crap. We're just going to do this thing on Monday. And it's going to be incredible value, and it's all completely free. And so I hope you'll participate. I know sometimes if we don't pay attention, but trust me, this will be worth your time. It's launched a lot of people's businesses and helped a lot of people, these challenges that we do. So meet us there Monday, 9 a.m. Eastern is when it officially starts. We're going to release content, instructions via an email, and also inside of our main Facebook group. And of course, we'll be going live for Wake Up Legendary at 10 a.m. Eastern time on Monday. Have a fantastic Friday. Have a great weekend. And we'll see you on Monday. Get out of here. Be legendary. Peace.